And another major update this motorcycle got from the previous generation was the sleeper clutch. We can test this out now itself. What's up YouTube, welcome back to the review of the Apache RR310, and this is the second generation RR310, and obviously I'm having a very nice time on this highway. And this is a cold December morning. You can see that I have my leather gloves on, so it's very cold out here and I'm just out for a ride and making this video. So undoubtedly this is going to rule the sports touring segment in the single cylinder section, because earlier we used to have the CBR 250R. Now it seems like it is discontinued, and I don't know what thing is going with Honda now, but the 250R is not anymore in sales, so chances are like there won't be any 250R anymore. And we have the Gixxer SF, which is like an SOHC engine, and it is not that much competitive to the RR310. So in that sense, the RR310 is going to rule the sports touring segment in the single cylinders, no doubt about it. And what I really liked about this motorcycle is the looks. Even when the first generation was launched, I was a little disappointed to see the matte black color of the RR310. Not really I hate it. I really knew that the glossy black will be so much good on this motorcycle, and in every angle it looks like a 600cc motorcycle. Personally, I own a 600cc motorcycle, and this is as huge as a 600cc. Maybe I can show it to you. Like, look at the tank. When you sit on the motorcycle, you see this tank, it's so huge. It feels so good, and it feels like there is a small pit over here to sit. In fact, not the pit, there's a sweet spot where you can sit on the motorcycle. So when you really sit on the motorcycle, I have planted food on both sides. The suspension actually relaxed a bit, and I have planted food on both sides now. And this angle is wonderful because the black paint scheme and the TVS logo coming here, and the RR310 logo here, and the clip-on looks very premium, almost like a 600cc, and the switch gear quality and all the paint quality, plastic, everything feels really premium. So from this angle, I have to say that the mirrors are doing a brilliant job. I mean, on the highways I have a complete visibility of what's there coming behind. When we look into the instrument cluster, in the beginning, in fact, I really didn't like the design because it's something unconventional, because we are used to read things like this, and this is now in this vertical format. But finally, when I started using it, I started liking it, in fact, a lot, because it has everything. It has everything that you can ask for. So this is the gear position indicator. The longer going one is the tachometer. You have the heat level indicator here, the fuel meter, which is almost accurate. I'm pretty happy with it. The time, and there's a space here which changes when I press this button, so it shows us the average mileage, the running mileage, lot many other stuff like the liters and the total kilometers, the trip meters. It has everything that you can ask for. So this information will be showed here. So it has done a top speed of 160, and it was pretty quick. I really never push one motorcycle to the edge of it, so in that sense I could do a 160 in no time. And the headlights are like brilliant. It looks brilliant, and it is purposeful. Generally you don't come across things like that, like aesthetically good, and in working also it is good. So in that sense, the light is giving illumination, be it the low beam or the high beam. It's really nice, but the only one thing is like oncoming traffic will be having some problem because it's too bright. And yeah, it has got that really nice upside down suspension. I'm not really a fan of this suspension because it is more tuned towards a plush riding than a cornering friendly machine. This is more towards sports touring than track racing. TVS has made this motorcycle saying that they have taken their experience from track and all, but in fact I feel that this is more towards road than track. It's just my personal opinion. And the brakes are like wonderful, not at all beginner friendly. The brakes are like super sharp, especially the front brake. It comes with steel braided brake lines, one of the best in the class. And you can see that piece of chassis which is exposing. That's what I liked about the motorcycle. Looking at it, the black paint scheme and the red coming in over there, written race spec, it's really nice, and it really gives you a feel that it's a big motorcycle, a premium motorcycle. And the tail section, it's like just beautiful. Look at this, it's just beautiful. And coming on to the seating comfort, the seating comfort is like really nice. It has a well padded seat. You can comfortably do touring for 500 to 600 kilometers a day. I have done it, not on this motorcycle, on the first generation. It was having the similar seat. So in fact, a really nice touring machine. But the disappointing factor is you have a very small race seat, so a pillion won't be so much comfortable on this motorcycle, especially it lacks a grab rail. I don't know whether it has a grab rail here. No grab rail here, so this is the only part that the pillion can hold on to. So in that sense, it's not a great motorcycle for pillion. So this comes with Michelin Pilot Street radials, and it's a budget oriented tire looking at the motorcycle, because this is more towards a corner friendly motorcycle. Okay, so in my opinion, the Michelin Pilot Street is not the best that you can give for this motorcycle. It has a good wet grip, it has good grip in dry condition also, and it has good life. Almost you can do 25k to 30k kilometers on this. But if you're giving a Pirelli on this, I'm sure that you will be able to enjoy the corners like anything. And let's go for a ride and I'll talk the rest of the things. So coming from the previous version, I forgot to mention few things. Like the major updates are like the vibration kit. So the vibration kit is like there's an additional rubber padding put over here. So basically the previous version, the first generation, was vibrating a bit, not because of the engine, because of the fairing. The fairing is not that much put on together, that's my personal feel. They have made a brilliant motorcycle, but the fairing is vibrating a little bit. So they have a rubber padding over here, and secondly they have heavier handlebar weights, which in turn reduces the vibrations onto the handlebar, and that is working fine. I can feel that the vibrations on the handlebar are like very minimal. And the next thing is there is a new chain roller inside, so that reduces the chain noise. In fact, the only one thing which I didn't like about this motorcycle is this. It sometimes feels like a 150cc motorcycle. It's not catchy. The exhaust sound is not so catchy. TVS could have done something better for that. But when it goes to the high rev ranges, okay, it is giving a very nice feel. But if you are riding in the city, it only has road presence in terms of looks, not in terms of sound. If at all this had a sound which is much similar to a Mojo, this would have been a wonderful motorcycle in terms of road presence. So I'll show the power delivery to you now. I hope you have noticed that the way this motorcycle delivers the power is like really sweet. When you compare it with the direct competitor in sports segment, which is the RC390, this is more mellow. It is a really gradual power delivery, nothing intimidating. The engine is more beginner friendly, but the ergonomics and the braking and the rest of the stuff are not so much beginner friendly. You can reach 100 to 130 km per mark in no time, one of the best in 300cc segment. See, the exhaust sound is not so catchy. That's what I told. And in lower rev during cold mornings, you will feel like there is some type of issue, but that's not the actual case. It doesn't have any issue with the engine, but it sounds similar to some other engine which has this type of issue. And another major update this motorcycle got from the previous generation was the sleeper clutch. We can test this out now itself. Okay, I'm gonna downshift. So no rear wheel locks, it is working seamlessly, no issues with it. The clutch is onto a moderately softer side, not the lightest. And the gearbox is like okay, it is not so crisp, neither too clunky, so it's somewhere in the middle. So they haven't worked anything from the previous version. And as I told you, both the mirrors are giving me a good view what's behind me. So I'm really happy for it. Even though when it is a sunny day or a moody day, this instrument cluster is showing everything that you want to see. So to talk about the rider's triangle, I have a slightly inclined posture for me to grab the handlebar. So if this is upright riding posture, and the CBR 250R will be here, and the RR310 should be a little more forward. The R15 is little more forward, and the RC390 is the sportiest one, and the foot pegs are almost underneath the butt. So it's almost relaxed but a little sporty. I shouldn't say that almost relaxed. It is little sporty for your upper body and relaxed for the lower body. That's how it is. This is in fact very good for sports touring, and this windscreen is like super solid, and it can give you protection till 130 with my height without ducking down. So if you can duck down, then still cruise it till 160, 170, no problem. It's super strong. I can feel that it is really strong. And yesterday I was riding this motorcycle in the city, and there is a little bit of heating issue. So the heating is something different that you see from other motorcycles. It heats, but the way it heats and dissipate the heat is something weird. Generally motorcycle dissipate the heat towards the calf area of your lug, but on this motorcycle it comes to your thighs and bottom part of the body, so that's a little scary if you want to ride this motorcycle in city conditions for long. That's not a good sign. But if it is rolling, no problem. If it is in this condition, you won't be feeling any kind of heat. And as I told, the previous version was having a little bit of vibration issues. It has gone low with the new version, but still I can feel a light amount of buzz over the seat. I can feel that because when this motorcycle really move into the mid RPMs like 5k to 6k, then I can feel a light buzz on my. And it has a very comfortable cruise speed from 100 to 130, and absolutely you don't face any kind of vibration at that speed. The foot pegs are safe, the handlebars are safe. The only one minor buzz that you see is from the seat, and yeah, you cannot avoid it. Maybe you can buy a gel seat or an air seat and you can comfortably tour. Another thing which you have to look at when you're taking this motorcycle for city riding is that it feels like it is having a longer wheelbase, and it has a little longer turning radius also. So in that sense, riding in the city is not a problem, but if you wanted to take a tight turn and if you're a short person, then you'll be having some difficult time in maneuvering the motorcycle, that's all. That's what I told. The power delivery is like really sweet. The main power is located from the mid RPM to the red lines, and it does it really well and in a very sweet manner. It doesn't punch you in the face like an RC390. The RC390 is like really brutal. If you're looking for a brutal machine, you have to go for the RC390 or the Duke 390. Don't look at it. This is more friendly, this is more comfortable, and this feels more premium also than an RC390, I have to admit that. So once it go past the 6000 RPM, and you can feel that the motorcycle is engaging, so no vibration, and that's the sweet time that you can enjoy the motorcycle. And I really didn't feel any kind of a ground clearance issue with the motorcycle when I was doing some amount of off-roads. I really didn't want to do off-road as such, but the roads were really bad, and the motorcycle has taken it well. So in that sense, no problem with the ground clearance and all. And when it comes to the ownership aspects, this motorcycle will give you a mileage something from 25 to 30 inside city and 30 to 35 on highways. That's a pretty decent mileage considering the amount of performance this is giving. And this motorcycle goes to service once in 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers, and it costs you somewhere from 2,000 to 2,500 rupees. The service cost is okay, but the spare part cost was little higher when this was launched, but I think the prices have been slashed now. So let's see who all can look onto this motorcycle. So if you are like me, like a sports tourer, definitely this is a motorcycle for you. Only one thing is like you cannot have a lot of luggage because this comes with a plastic tank cover, so you cannot have a magnetic tank bag, but you can have a tank bag here. I can show it to you. You see this? You can have a tank bag here, and look at the stability, man. This motorcycle is giving good stability. Carrying a saddlebag will be a problem because first of all the pillion seat is very small, and secondly you don't have grab rails on both sides, so you cannot tie your luggage like that. Only thing that you can do is having a tail bag. You can tie your bag with bungee cords on the seat. That's one option. Otherwise a perfect motorcycle where you can take it for sports touring. And if you are considering this for cities, if you have moderate traffic in a city, no problem, you can enjoy it. But if you have dead traffic, then heating is one problem, and maneuvering is okay. As I told you, if you are a short guy, then you will be having a problem in the turning radius. Otherwise no problem. If you are a tall guy, then of course no problem. You can handle any motorcycle. Definitely not a good choice for off-roads, and intermediate track rides you can do that. As I told you, you just have to tweak the suspension, that's all. You have to make it a little more tighter to take it to the track, and I feel like you can have a bigger sprocket in the rear side because that will give you a initial punch. This actually has some initial punch which is rightly required for our city use, but not towards the track use. If you are really gonna have this competing with RC390 or something, then really you need to have a bigger sprocket in the rear. That will help you in getting a little more better punch when you are doing a drag race. So that's it with this review. I hope you like this review, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.